much better. Say something still really down.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so there's a delay. Mute your audio if you don't mind.
Just did
okay.
that.
All right. And there we got. No, that's not right. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Good morning. We are here at the Hurst EOC for the official kickoff event for Ham Radio 2.0 live from the Hamshack live stream monthly event that we're going to get started for 2019. My name's Jason. I'm KC5HWB. And go ahead, Frank. Introduce yourself.
My name's Frank. I am KG5AHJ here in.
I'm in
wow.
Hurst. There's a delay. There's a delay. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're here at Hurst EOC.
So so basically, what I just need to do is watch the chat and see if someone pops up a question or something.
I'm trying to do that, but the video is kind of. You know what? I'll just slide it off the screen and see the chat. There you go.
There you go. That's fine.
I don't need to look at my mug.
So I've got some notes here.
All right.
So anyway, thank you. So I thought I've been thinking about this for a while, and there's a lot of guys out there doing live streams now, and been doing a lot of research on YouTube about live streams and about growing a YouTube channel. So I thought this is the perfect time since it's December. I actually thought of this a month ago, but still, for 2019, what I want to do is I want to do a live chat at the first Saturday of every month. So do a monthly live chat. During the month, we can, I'm going to still keep posting my episodes on the show like I normally do, and we can, I'll mention on the show kind of every now and then about saying, hey, send in your questions. What do you want me to talk about on the live chat? You can come on to the, hey, Steve, hearing echo, he says. Don't know, shouldn't hear any echo. Maybe that'll help with it because there's two microphones here. So, Frank the chat watcher. So, I'll have to unmute you. I muted your mic, Frank, so because Steve said he's hearing echo, but not sure. So, anyway. Hey, Colin, G4KFK, thanks for watching. Okay, now Steve says, okay. So, it was the dual microphones. That microphone picks up too much. I need to get another Heil for you over there. Where was I going? Oh, so I want to do a live chat at the beginning of every month on the first Saturday of every month, and just kind of, and probably most of the time it's going to be from the Hamshack, but today we're at the Hurst EOC. If you go to w5hrc.org, you can check out the Hurst EOC. Let me pull up that page here. Hurst Emergency Operations Center, obviously, for the Hurst Amateur Radio Club. Those of you who might have watched my technician or general classes, this is the group of folks who did that class. They put all the material together and they presented it in a 3-session class, and then the 4th session was the test session. I've got a lot of really good feedback on those classes, and they're still up there. The technician class expired last year, but the questions are still relevant. They're working on a new class for technician, the new question pool, and as soon as that's up, I'll put that. But the general one's still up there. They're working on an extra one too. I know a lot of people ask me about that. So, but we're so thanks to the folks up at the Hurst Amateur Radio Club. They're here every Saturday from about 9-ish to about noon, just doing ham radio, whatever, radio programming.
What about those early birds? You know, the ones wake up really early in the morning.
Really early in the morning, they go to breakfast.
Yep.
At 6:30 in Hurst every Saturday morning.
Man,
so
that's too early for me. That's too early.
Sometimes I'll do that, and most of the time I do not do that. So anyway, so the so we're here today. Most of the time it's probably going to be in the shack, but the only exceptions to that rule. Let me pull up my calendar here. For the month of June, I'm going to be attending HamCom. Which is the biggest ham fest in Texas. If you've never been to HamCom, I highly suggest trying to make it. So for the month of June, Hamcom is the second weekend on June 8th, as I'm showing right here on the calendar. We're going to do a live stream from Hamcom. So instead of doing one on June 1st, I'll be doing one on June 8th that month. And then for November, as most of you probably know, I'm pretty big into deer hunting. Opening weekend of deer season is always the first Saturday in Texas.
Yet?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
How many weekends have you been out there?
4.
4?
Yeah, they're not moving. Well, one of the guys shot a pig last night.
What?
Yeah. They showed me. I'll show you a picture of it later. I'm not going to put it on the air.
Finally.
Yeah. So anyway, November will be on November 9th. We're going to do that the second weekend also because of deer season. Other than that, it'll be every weekend, the first Saturday of every month for 2019. So I'm looking forward to it. So you can come on to the if you're watching from the YouTube stream, you can come on to the chat on the right hand side over there, and yeah, Steve, you can tell us what you think in the chat. Steve, the other microphone's unmuted now, but I turned the volume down, so we'll see what there. And good morning from KB3KAU. Good morning, Rodney. Good morning.
Steve.
There's Steve N5KCH.
Yeah.
Hey, the next time you guys see N5KCH somewhere, sock him in the jaw for winning that TS890 at the Main Trading Company Days, that $4,000 radio last October.
Got it?
Yeah, he got it.
I was wanting it. I was wanting it. Of course, I have to attend to go get it. But
right. Yeah. So, no, but I like to tease him about that. So, it's a good thing. So, Steve, I need to get with you on the DMR repeater, bro. So, one of these times, need to catch up with that. Want to also thank my, you guys go out there and do some shopping on my club sponsor pages. We've got Gifts for Hams. Let me switch the screen here. Gifts for Hams is one of my oldest sponsors. They make call sign plaques, name tags. They make laser engraved wooden name tags. Most of them are like plastic that you see at like ham fests and whatnot. And those are nice, but they make wooden ones kind of like what's on the screen right now. Those are really cool. All the lighted signs that I have in my videos on at home when I'm doing live from the Hamshack, those lighted signs are from Gifts from Hams. The Greater Houston Ham Fest became a sponsor of mine earlier this year also. Probably the second, maybe the third largest ham fest in Texas that happens in March every year. It's a really good show. They got some big names out there. I'm trying to get MFJ to come out there. So Richard from MFJ, if you're watching, need to go to the show, bro. Also, RNL Electronics became a sponsor of the show back about a month ago, I think it was, and I did some Black Friday episodes with some of their stuff. So that's them, and they've got some good prices they got some really good prices on ICOM stuff. So special thanks to RNL Electronics for sponsoring the show as well. If you want to become a show sponsor, or you're interested in supporting somehow, you can always hit me up on Patreon. I'll come back to that in a second. And or shoot me an email. I'm good on QRZ. So send in your topics for discussion that you want me to talk about on this live stream every month. And if you want a review of a radio or something, then shoot me an email. Good on QRZ with that too, and we can see what we can do about.
I did enjoy your last video.
Which one was that?
The two DMR.
Oh yeah, the Anytone and the BTEC comparison.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're very similar. Surprisingly similar.
Internally to the same radio. The thing that makes them different is firmware, because you get firmware from Anytone for the Anytone, you get firmware from Baofeng Tech for the BTEC. Mm-hmm. So, and the BTEC has a few more options than the Anytone does. But the Anytone 878 just came out, which has APRS in it.
Ooh.
And I have that radio, and I've been toying with it to kind of learn it, and it'll be one of my next episodes that post.
I think it was the same one you did. It has GPS, but I don't think it has APRS.
Right.
So I was just like,
Yeah. So, most of these newer DMR radios have GPS, so it tells you where you are.
Yeah.
And you can go into the back end and kind of set up a channel, and it will post to APRS for you, kind of through a hack, sort of a hack. But this one actually has APRS. This new D878UV actually has APRS.
What price range are we?
They're about the same. They're about 180, 190, somewhere in there.
Not too bad.
No, that's not too bad. It's at the high end of the most of your dual band DMR radios range between 140 and 200, with the exception of that GD77 from Radioddity, and you get what you pay for. I'll put it that way. So, yeah. But let's see. What do you think about the new D-Star Peanut app? Come on, guys, don't hide. From Colin Baker, G4 KFJ. I don't know what a Peanut app is. Sorry, I don't know what that is. But you've got me curious now, so maybe I'll go look up D-Star Peanut. I'll shoot Ray Nowak an email and say, hey, dude, what is this? I want to put it on the show. But my new ID 5100 that I just picked up on Black Friday will probably force me to do some D-Star episodes, so I'm looking forward to that. The other way, most of you are probably already subscribed on YouTube, but I created a new URL that makes it easier to subscribe. If you go to open a web browser from your phone or your tablet or your computer or whatever, go to subscribe.hamradio2.com. Subscribe.hamradio2.com. It'll take you to my YouTube page, and it'll bring up a box. It'll pop up a box automatically that says, do you want to subscribe, yes or no? Click on yes, of course.
So correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Quick Googling, the Peanut app looks like to be the EchoLink that hooks into the D-Star nodes.
Really?
Just from a quick Google search, and this is very, very high level looking at it, but
EchoLink, or is it actually hooked to EchoLink, or is it just similar to EchoLink?
They're
similar to EchoLink.
Yeah.
Okay. Peanut app is still in trial. That's supposed to be trial mode, not trail mode. I'm just messing with you, Rodney. Peanut app for ham, amateur, Android only. I am sold. If it's Android only, I'm there.
I
agree. Yeah.
I was about to make that comment, man. You beat me to it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, be sure and subscribe to me on YouTube. I would appreciate it. Trying to get my subscriber account up, and only what am I going? I just lost my train of thought because I was reading that Jay Spalding comment there. So trying to get my subscriber count up, and hopefully the live stream will help with that.
From Jay, man, have you hooked up your hotspot to your Seabridge yet?
Yes. Yeah. So I have a Seabridge Manager set up specifically for an HB Link connection that will allow a hotspot to hook into the Seabridge. Going to be doing several episodes on that upcoming. So I don't want to give too much away quite yet, but yeah, you're going to see some episodes upcoming about hotspots into the Seabridge, HB Link servers, DMR Link servers, and that kind of connections coming up. So yes, stay tuned. I don't think anybody else is doing that because I don't think anybody else video podcast-wise has a Seabridge that they can administer of their own.
Yeah.
So cool.
I'll be interested in learning about that.
TI2RE from Costa Rica. Good morning. Thank you for joining us, Ronnie. Been to Costa Rica twice on DXpedition right outside of Liberia there. One of my favorite spots.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great. You need to go with us next time.
Yes, I've said I need to.
Okay.
I think I might have the cash this time.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't go this year. They usually go in like October.
Yeah.
And I think they couldn't work out the planning because Randy was busy in October, and he said, let's do it in September, and then it just never got put together. I don't know why.
Is it always Costa Rica, or is it different destinations?
That group always goes to Costa Rica.
Okay.
We've got basically a permanent spot down there where we've got storage buildings down there where we keep towers and antennas and feed line and whatnot, and like analyzers and equipment. So we pack lightly. I mean, we pack our radios and we pack some antennas and whatnot, and we go down there, and then we've got 40 and 50 foot towers that are stored there that we just put up.
Nice.
So it makes it very easy to do.
Nice.
So yeah, that is PA7LIM is the developer of Peanut. Go check it out. Okay, those guys from the PA land over there, they're really good at developing stuff like that. Okay, good. So. Talked about that. I should also mention, I mentioned the Anytone D878 a minute ago. A great place to get that if you're interested in that radio is Bridgecom Systems. Bridgecom Systems is a sponsor of the show. They're not a monetary sponsor, but they've contributed in other ways. You'll be seeing an episode on a Bridgecom repeater upcoming soon. That goes for MFJ and Balefan Tech also. Both of those guys are really good contributors to the show by allowing me to review their equipment. But Bridgecom Systems, if you're interested in the Anytone D878 with APRS built into it, Bridgecom Systems has, I think they have a sale going right now where they're not allowed to sell it for less than what Anytone says, but they're giving away like a extended antenna, maybe an extra battery or something. Or they were at Black Friday, and I think they extended it. Go out there and look. I don't remember. But they run specials all the time. So, but that's a great place to get that radio if you're interested in that radio. So, so some of you might be. This is the part where I don't like asking for money. Money, yeah. Like, hey, contribute to the show. Yeah. But, it takes money to make the world go around. Mm-hmm. I would love to be able to do this full time. As most of you know, I post one video a week. I'd like to upgrade that to 2 videos a week, plus the live stream, plus a couple of what are called sprint videos where I go to like Dayton or Orlando or Hamcom and I record 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 different videos and then I put them all up at once, that kind of thing. To do that, I need more support to do that. So Patreon, I have a Patreon page out there that is maybe that some of you contribute to. And but if you go to patreon.com /ham radio, this is my Patreon page. And I've got 14 patrons right now, as you can see. I've surpassed the let's see, these goals here. I'm 22% complete towards my $500 a month goal. My first goal was $100 a month. I'm a little bit over that, so I'm 22% towards.
What are we getting for the first goal?
Well, you don't get anything. I get.
What?
You get to see me on YouTube more often. So that's the thing. But the thing, over on the right side, the tiers, that's where you actually you can get some stuff. With this, $1 a month, you can do $1 a month. $1 a month, you can pay it through your PayPal or your credit card account, whichever, and you probably will never see it. $2 a month is what I'm kind of trying to push people towards. $2 a month. Again, you probably won't ever see $2 a month. Drink one less soda a month, and you won't ever.
It's kind of hard when they have a soda fountain at work.
Well, yeah, you don't have to pay for those, right?
No.
Okay, so then there you go. So drink one less purchased soda a month.
Oh.
But then you can do $5 and you can do $10, and then this monthly sponsorship. A couple of my sponsors do this $50 a month, and those are the ones that I promote on the show. So if you're interested in a more customized package, you are welcome to hit me up on email about that, and switch back to the camera here, and go from there. But yeah, thank you for those who do support me on Patreon, and there's 14 of you out there, I guess, and it does help the show to grow. Recently, I also became an Amazon influencer, which is just the new name for their Amazon affiliate program. So you can go to amazon.com /shop/ham radio 2.0. They actually let me put 2.0 in the URL. And you can search for, I've got a ham radio thing up there. I've got a thing for books up there. I'm going to be adding a lot more to that. I'm going to be adding some hunting and fishing gear. I'm going to be adding some RV camper type stuff and adding more to the ham radio thing as well. So amazon.com /shop/ham radio 2.0. The cool thing about Amazon influencers, Frank, I don't know if you know this, but if you go to my Amazon influencers page and you click on my page and it starts an Amazon session, and you're like looking around, you're like, okay, that's cool. It's like, oh, I need to buy batteries. So you come off of my Amazon page, but you stay on Amazon and you go buy something.
They're tracking you.
Well, they're tracking you, but I still get credit for it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But they're tracking you.
Yeah, they're tracking you. Yeah. But it's Amazon. It's not the government, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm okay with it.
So what's this pop-up over here in the chat from Jay?
Okay, so let's go here. Okay, so Jay's okay, so this is Super Chat.
Super Chat.
This is what's called a Super Chat.
Am I in it?
Everybody's in it. You just, when you, you linked a Patreon page. Oh, thank you for doing that. So, so a Super Chat, you can donate to me through the chat. And Jay just donated $5. So thank you, Jay. Thank you for sponsoring the show. That's that will help greatly. And Ryan Hall says, more reviews on DMR mobiles, please. You know what? There's an extreme limit of DMR mobiles. There's basically only 2.
There are 2.
Well, there's 2 that are made for amateur radio. You've got your Hyteras and your Motorola's, of course, but the 2 that are made for amateur radio are the CS800D and the TYT MD9600. And I've done a couple of videos on the 9600 already. Probably going to do some more because they've got a couple new features coming out, new firmware and whatnot, something like that. I do need to do my CS800D video. I've never done that, but I'll probably do that. But
shots from your truck now?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually going to reconfigure my truck and reconfigure the radios. I'm going to put my ID5100 in it, and I'm going to keep my Anytone Tribander and just use it on 220.
Okay.
If anyone knows of a 220 mobile radio with a removable face, because I don't think one exists.
You sold me one.
A monoband. A monoband, not the tri-band. The tri-band has a removable face.
Yes.
Waxon makes a dual band that's 2 meters and 220, and it has a removable face.
Okay.
But I've never seen a 220 mobile radio monoband with a detachable face.
Why would you want a monoband?
Because one bad thing about that, the Anytone works fine, but one bad thing is I notice there's some intermods sometimes. Sometimes if I'll key up on 2 meters, it'll interfere on 220.
I had noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a monoband has...
Is that also transmit? Is it just localized when that interference happens?
A little bit of both, I think.
Yeah.
I think a little bit of both. So I need to make you a moderator. Okay, so you posted that... There it is. You posted that URL in the Super Chat, and it gave me a pop-up saying show or hide. And I clicked on show. So next time I will make you a moderator. I don't know how to do that, but I'll figure it out.
All right. We thank Steve for $25.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah, Steve is. Yeah, I don't think that it hadn't popped up yet, Steve. I'm not sure how to do the Super Chat, but ask Jay. He did it apparently. So I think you click on this $sign right here. Let me switch it here to that. Make sure this doesn't cause any feedback. I think you click this $sign here. Show your support for Ham Radio 2.0, and then you can put a dollar amount in the chat there. I think that's how you do it. So, again, thanks to Jay for that donation. Ham Man, thank you for the Cyber Monday video. I picked up the HRI 200, as you mentioned, from 73 from London, he says. Cool. London, Tennessee. You got me. It was London, Tennessee.
That's like Paris, Texas.
Paris, Texas,
travel the world without leaving Texas.
That's right, yeah. So I talked to a guy yesterday from Atlanta, Texas, and I'm like, where in the world is Atlanta, Texas? It's right south of Texarkana, he said. So we're working on getting a DMR repeater out there. So Clay, KN4NIL, UV50X3, only 5 watts on 220, you think? Actually, I thought it was 1 watt on 220. That's technically a dual band radio with 220 as a side note. Kind of like it's basically a copy of the old Yaesu FT650? No, 350, FT350. It has a 220 band, but it's only transmitting I think it's 1 watt. You might be right. It might be 5 watts. I've actually got one of those in the shack that I'm working on a video for, and I can test that. Seems to be well put together, unlike that Vero Telecom that I did a while back that I didn't like at all. So, okay. That is, I've only been going a half hour. Okay, you guys, post your questions in the chat. We're going to be looking. From that, we got some good participation here. I hope that we can get some questions answered. So, Frank, you got your general license? Yes, did you not?
General.
Okay.
I tried for the extra, got 50%.
I think I beat you by 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got a 60 on it. Yeah. So.
Man, that was hard, but I didn't study. It was just
no.
like, hey, I got my general, and they threw the test at me, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Right. But yeah, we'll get our extra when Mike does the class here. So that'll be fun.
Looking forward to that class, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information on that extra.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. So next month, we're going to do Winter Field Day.
We are?
Yeah.
It's going to be cold.
Yeah. We can operate from inside the trailer.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the
So next month, Winter Field Day is the last weekend in January.
Okay.
And it's the same. And I looked it up because I'd never done Winter Field Day before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same hours. It's 1 p.m. Central to 1 on Saturday to 1 p.m. Central on Sundays. So it's like what is that? 7 a.m. UTC? No. 7 p.m. UTC, because we're -6.
We are -6.
We're -6. Yeah, I think it's 7 p.m. UTC on Saturday to 7 p.m. UTC on Sunday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Now, do you have a hotspot or internet out there?
I have my mobile hotspot that is in my truck will be there.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be able to pull up computers and look at watcher networks. But I used spotter software the last time I did Field Day, and it didn't really help that much. If you're doing DX, I think it helps a lot.
Yeah.
If you're doing like international, just because we're just going for how many states we can contact, right? Inside of the USA and Canada, USA and Canada.
They're like our top hat.
Right. Yeah. Now you can. Yeah. You can do. Yeah. Careful, we got some Canadian viewers here, man. Don't make them mad.
No. I got some family up there. They're great.
Okay, good.
They know how to take a good job.
Yeah. Can hardly hear the guy in the blue. That's Frank. So maybe move up to the mic a little bit.
Blocking my face. I'm okay with this right now.
Okay. I think it's just I kind of backed off of my microphone a bit. This one's more of a directional mic. This is a high mic. That one's more of a dynamic mic. That's an all-around mic. So
I could have done the lapel again.
That doesn't plug into the mixer board. So
well then.
Actually, I guess I could, because that does have an XLR cable. I'd have to do the transmitter over there and the receiver on the mixer board. I could have done that.
Yeah.
But no, I've got another Heil mic that stays in my Hamshack, and next time we do this, I'll probably just bring my second Heil mic and we'll just both use Heil mics. Those MXL mics are nice, but they're not really great for what we're doing here.
Okay.
So
I like the setup. I just think that we should probably move the cameras a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think we're doing a lot of looking at each other and not looking over here. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. See,
you like my tie?
See, that's live from the Hamshack right there. I love that.
Well, it's the first one, right? First live.
This is the first planned. I did a couple of live videos at the Main Training Company days in October.
Yeah.
So 2 months ago. And then I've done some just kind of one-offs here, and I did one from the beach in Galveston.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
Very windy.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of wind on. That was just from my phone. I just did that from my phone. So
you
that's from.
Really tell good quality
right.
on those phones.
It's the Galaxy S9.
But they don't have good mics.
No. Well, the microphone's fine. It's just an on-camera mic. It's the same way if you were to take a video camera out there with an on-camera mic, you'd still pick up a lot of garbage, But you get a plug-in mic with an actual directional mic, and it's much better. So.
Oh, we do have someone from Corpus Christi,
Lindsay Hicks, KG5 USC. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. We're working on a DMR repeater down there. I'm getting confused. Yeah, we're working on a DMR repeater down there in a little town called Blue Town. I think it's Blue Town. There's one that we put up in Violet, which I think is in the valley, closer to McAllen.
Yep.
And then there's one that's going to be going up into Blue Town, and I think that's outside of Corpus Christi. I might have those backwards. They're itty bitty towns around larger cities. So.
So since this is the first, official one, I thought I'd look nice.
Oh yeah.
Put a tie on.
Yeah, and you're wearing your Hurst Amateur Radio Club shirt too.
It was a radio thing, so I had to put on a radio shirt.
Yeah.
Now, if someone would give me a little swag, I could.
I'll get you a shirt. I'll get you a shirt. That's not a problem. So, okay, let's scroll up here. Craig Murphy, is your Hotspot Seabridge project going to allow us outside users to be able to access your Seabridge to access your Texas DMR? No. yes and no. So what I'm probably going to do is set up a connection for outside users to come in, but I'm not going to tie it into Texas statewide, because Texas statewide is
statewide.
Right. Yeah, it's basically a Texas only talk group, and I could do a long, boring monologue about my thoughts on that, but I'm not going to do that. So, who was that wrote that? Craig. So, Craig, yes, I will have something for you to connect to, but it won't include Texas statewide. So, let's see. Any dual band DMR handhelds with a super heterodyne receiver? No, not that I've seen yet. They're all the only super het receiver DMR radio I've seen from China is the MD380.
Now, what's a super het receiver?
You know what? That's a little bit of I know that there's a super het receiver, and I know that we need to get David on the show. He can AA5HL.
Yeah.
He can explain all kinds of crap to us about receivers that will be glossed over in the eyes. So
we need to get David to explain grounding.
Yeah, that'd be good too. So
we just put a camera on him and just leave the room for half an hour to an hour, and we'll come back. He'll still be talking. We need to give him a whiteboard though.
No doubt, yeah. So anyway, no super het receivers on the dual bands that I've seen yet. Trying to go through these and make sure. Earl VE7QJ is from Canada. He's got a Victor Echo call sign, so yeah, be careful what you say about Canada.
Man, Canada is a beautiful country.
He was joking because he's got family up there.
Yeah.
So
I love any country or any part of the country after you get outside the cities.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, let's see. WB8GRS, my friend Steve from Little Elm. From the Beovang Tech website, the UV50X3 will transmit at 50 watts on both UHF and VHF, and will transmit at 5 watts on 222 to 225. Okay. The FTM 350 only did 1 watt on 220. Okay, so that's a little bit of an upgrade. The B-Tech will actually do 5 watts on 220. Well, that's good to know. So that's like hooking an HT to an external antenna. Mm-hmm. And the noise floor on 220 is so low anyway. Where are you going?
It was a suggestion.
Turn it around the other way, because the driven element's only on one side of the microphone. I think it's on the other side. I think it's on the other side.
Well, hello. The other side.
Try it on the other side.
The selective command, right?
Nope, you were right the first time. Okay. So, yeah, and now it's coming up on the video.
Sweet.
So, but hey, that's live. That's what it's all about. So good. So the UV50X3 does a little bit better on 220 than the Yaesu did. My Craig KN4NIL says my BTEC 50X3 is getting me a lot of good reports from other mobile users. Simplex Next 50 miles away every Sunday.
Wow, that's impressive.
Good, excellent. I assume that's it.
What radio was that again? I missed
the
that.
UV50X3.
50X3.
It's a Beofeng Tech radio.
Uh-huh.
Clay. I'm sorry. I think I said Craig. Clay KN4NIL. I assume that's on 2 meters. Your Simplex net. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. That's cool. Lindsay says they were talking about the DMR repeater at the last club meeting I was able to make. Cool. Yep, I know that's they've been. Sorry, my nose itches. But you ever notice that? Maybe you don't notice this. You're not on camera as often as I am. But as soon as you get on camera, your nose starts itching.
No.
Like that.
Now you're saying that I want it.
It's gonna happen.
No. No. I refuse to acknowledge it.
You refuse to acknowledge it.
Yep.
So, okay, sounds great. Scott Taylor says, anyone hear anything about the new mobile version of the Kenwood D74? Good freaking question. Yes, I've heard rumors. Rumors only. Not heard anything else besides rumors. I certainly hope that's going to be a reality before too long. But considering that the HT is almost $600, I'm sure the mobile is going to be over 1,000, or maybe right at 1,000. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be an expensive freaking radio, but I'm probably not going to be able to help myself and have to buy one anyway. So, but we'll see. We'll see if that holds true. Chris, if you want to come in the shot over here, you want to be on camera?
I can switch places for a second.
Bring your
come over here.
Bring your chair over here on this side of Frank. And y'all can, y'all can kind of share that microphone.
Watch
there.
out for the cables.
Let me grab something. So we're gonna set up a little bit here. And are you cold, Frank?
No comment.
No comment, huh? It says no comment. So, okay. So that's just you two on camera right now.
So how's that?
That's good.
Cool.
That's good. So, y'all are kind of over on the side, but I've got it that way so I can do split screen. So you're fine. Well, I can't turn that either.
No,
so
you're fine.
This is Chris, KD5HIY. He's the current president of the Hurst Amateur Radio Club. And those of you in Texas, I'll go ahead and plug DMRTexas.net. Those of you in Texas, if you are interested in DMR at all in the state of Texas, Chris administers the website, DMRTexas.net. It's got all of the repeater information, regardless of what network your repeater is on, Seabridge, Brandmeister, whatever. And
does it also have information how to update your firmware and
it doesn't. There's some code plugs being shared on there. I've got a screenshot of the website up there right now. You can click right here on this join the discussion. We have a groups.io group right there. You can join. Anybody can join. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be in Texas, but most everything that we talk about is in Texas. So, okay, you're back on camera now. So, but right. Chris administers that website. I do help him, but he's basically the one in charge of that website. And all of the repeater information for DMR in the state of Texas is on there. If it's not there, then we either don't know about it because the repeater owner hasn't told us, or we reached out to the repeater owners. They haven't replied to us yet. But I think it's about probably about 97, 98% accurate.
Somewhere in there.
It's doing pretty good. But
that's where I get my current code plugs.
Yeah.
Because, programming all that.
Woo. Yeah. Oh, and I should also say, let me go back over here for a second. If we go over here to code plugs and national code plugs, we've got a quote unquote database. It's not really a database. It's just a linked activity here for every state in the nation with code plugs. And you can see California, we got some of these. They were contributed by KA6PNL. Atlanta, Georgia, we got one from WA4RVO. And North Carolina, Ohio, South Carolina, Virginia, and Wyoming. So if you have a code plug for whatever radio, doesn't matter what radio it is, Motorola, Chinese radio, dual band, whatever DMR radio you've got.
Now, why are you making fun of my radios? Got to call them out, Chinese radio.
Well, because there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of
them? I can say Motorola, I can say Vertex Standard, Hytera. People use those, but hams don't use them as frequently. There's more hams using Motorola on DMR than there are Hytera or Vertex. But there are hams who use everything. But there's a lot of hams that use Chinese. And you've got TYT, Alliance, which is actually made by Redivus. You've got other Redivus. You've got Anytone. You've got Radiodity, Baofeng Tech. Now, Alenco now has one, too, that looks just like the Anytone. But if you got code plugs for anything, go on DMRTexas.net. Go to the contact page, send us a form email through there, and someone will reply to you, and you can send us your code plug. We'll give you a plug on the page for whatever state. It doesn't have to be in Texas. It's a national database. We're trying to build that up. So there's that. So what's up, man? How are things?
Nothing.
Okay.
Just programming radios all morning.
Programming radios.
Which ones have you done so far?
What have I done? 380. MD UV380.
Yeah.
Did a MD UV380 MD UV390 in the case of an MD380 fresh from the factory. Could not get it to write, and I finally just tried. Let me try the 390, and it just fine. So
you want to know why that is?
Why?
Because because it was probably an MD380 GPS version.
Yep.
Okay, that's why.
The CPS said it was a 390 when I read from it.
They've changed this 2 or 3 times. I've talked to TYT about this. When they first released that radio, they had 2 different versions of the software. It was an MDU380 CPS, MDU390 CPS. Mm-hmm. I installed both of them. Windows saw them as the same thing because they put a parentheses 1 after the second install. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Windows thought they were the exact same thing. So I uninstalled one. And I tried to I wrote my MD380, no problem. 380 GPS, no problem. UV380 GPS, no problem. And I couldn't write the, I'm sorry, I got that backwards. I wrote my UV390 GPS, no problem, but I couldn't write the UV380 GPS. Mm-hmm. So I emailed TYT, and they're like, you have to use the GPS version or the 390 version of the software for all GPS models. Now, I think that's changed a time or two since then. okay, because I think they updated that a while back, even though Windows saw them as the exact same software because it installed, like, oh, we've already got this, so it puts the one parenthesis behind the file name. But I don't know, so that's weird, but it's...
Yeah, when I tried to use the 380, MDUV 380 code plug, it kept saying wrong model.
Yes.
Wrong model, so I was like,
yes.
Let me write the firmware again. Maybe I'm doing the wrong firmware, and then I would boot it, and it would just freeze. And finally I said, just as a last-ditch effort before you send it back, let me try this, and there it goes. It just popped right in there.
And it worked with the 390. It was a 380 radio that worked with the 390 software. Yeah.
Yep.
So what software are you using to program all these? Are you still just using
just the Titera software?
I don't think I've used that one.
Yeah.
You don't have a Titera.
Well, you don't have you have an Anytone.
I have an Anytone.
Yeah.
So
the N0, I think where you're going with that, Frank, the N0 GSG contact manager will let you edit a code plug, but it doesn't read and write to the radio. So basically, you have to plug in your radio to the computer, read it through your Titera, TYT, or Anytone, or whatever software, save the file, open it up in N0 GSG contact manager, do whatever editing you want, save the file again, reopen it in UV380 and the Titera software, and write it back to the radio. And that sounds like a multi-step process, okay? It's a heck of a lot faster to do it that way than it is to put everything in through the TYT CPS. Yeah. Because
I haven't updated my contacts in a long time.
Well, the contact update is still, you can do it through either one. The new dual band Titera software updates contacts very easily. You can very easily do Titera contacts, but if you are in the, I'm going to go ahead and say it, even though you said this morning you're tired of programming radio. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, especially in Tarrant County, and you're interested to learn more about DMR and how to program DMR and that kind of thing, the Hurst Club is here at this EOC every Saturday from about 9-ish to about 11 or 12 noon. Yeah, every Saturday, without question. Y'all were even here the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have a monthly meeting on Mondays. It's the second or third Monday of the month. I think it's the third.
4 years and I can never get this
yeah,
right.
I think it's the third Monday of the month. So that's our monthly business meeting.
That's what a calendar's for.
And yeah,
it just pops up.
But,
I gotta go do that.
But we just have, hey, come have fun toying with ham radio every Saturday morning, and there's always projects going on. One guy up here brought up a 3D printer one time. We've done some maker type projects in here. Steve's talking about bringing up his flow oven thing for showing us how to do homemade. What's it called?
It's a reflow.
Reflow oven. That's it.
Yeah.
For showing us how to do surface mount soldering.
Initially learned all about that. Modding Xboxes way back in the day, and the red ring of death. You had to reflow.
Oh yeah.
Xbox 360.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I just used an oven and a brick.
Yeah.
And a towel.
Right.
50-50 shot. It was working.
All right. Let's see. Go back to some questions here. Oh yeah, that was Tilly said that. Okay. Thanks for joining us from VK Land, VK3ND. Hey Roger. Good morning. Roger's a usual commenter on the YouTube show. N5REL said, Jason, what's the latest on your Lake Fork DMR repeater project? What kind of coverage do you project from this? The DMR repeater is at Lake Fork. It's on line, but it's on a dummy load. I have to climb up a 50-foot tower to put up the antenna, which is not a problem. But the last 2 times I've been there, it's been raining and thunderstorming, and I ain't doing that.
No.
So the Lake Fork repeater is there. It's just not on the air. It's online. It's on the internet connected to the Sea Bridge. It's just not on the air. So I project that. That's a good question, because that tower should put it up over. The antenna should be up over the trees at that location, but the tower's only 50 feet. But it's right there on the water, so I'm really kind of hoping that the lake acts like a ground plane. It's not close enough to actually run a line into the lake, but it's pretty close to the water, and I'm going to do some driving around the lake once we get it done. But I'm hoping it covers all of Lake Fork. I really do.
Yeah.
Where is Dan's repeater? Because I think he's moved it a couple times. The repeater out in Greenville, I'm told, might cover down Lake Fork. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't tested it. I haven't tested. And the same guy who owns the Greenville repeater, who's now on the Sea Bridge, has a tower spot in Royce City where that really good 220 repeater is. We've talked about putting a DMR repeater out there, but we haven't ever done it yet. So, so we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, Lake Fork is going to be, I'm probably going to have to wait until the weather gets warmer and have to go back out there and run a feed line up, put an antenna on top of that tower. So, Scott, KM4ZYG says, are you going to Hamcation in Orlando? Hope to see you there. You know what? I'm not going to make it to Hamcation this year. I've decided not to go. We got a couple other things going on that month, and I need to be kind of choosy about what Hamfests I'm going to this year upcoming, just for time constraints more than anything. So I will not make it to Orlando, but come hell or high water, I'm still going to Dayton. Definitely be at Dayton this year. So there's one in Fort Worth in January called the Cowtown Hamfest, which is a really good show because people are ready to spend money after the holiday. It's the first show of the year in this area, and people seem to be ready to spend money after the holidays. So the event
that's in Cowtown.
Cowtown, yeah. It's Fort Worth. In Fort Worth, yeah. It's actually in Forest Hill, but yeah.
That's in Forest Hill.
Yeah.
Not actual Fort Worth proper.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the Cowtown Amateur Radio Club that puts it on.
Okay.
That's why.
It's a good show.
So it is a good show. And then in March is the Houston Hamfest. I'll be at that one. And then in April is the Green Country Hamfest outside of Tulsa, and I hope to make it back to that one this year. I was sick last year. I didn't make it to that one.
Oh.
So we'll see how that goes. But no Hamcation for me this year, unfortunately. Steve Kleiss. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Hope the mobile version of the Anytone comes out in the next couple of months, starting to do DMR. Yeah, Anytone's working on. The last I talked to Anytone about their mobile, Jerry from Connect Systems has a prototype, but apparently it's just a case and it doesn't have anything inside of it. Because I asked Anytone to send me one, and he's like, "Well, it's not really a radio; it's just like a mock-up." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know that."
Great thing to review.
Right, exactly, yeah.
I really like the button placement.
Yeah. So the last time and I need to follow up and see if this is still true. The last time I talked to Anytone about that mobile, they said they were going to do 2 versions. Neither one of them are going to have a detachable head. So people were disappointed about that. They said the first version is going to be dual band 25 watts, and the second band is going to be dual version about 70, 75 watts. Mm-hmm. And that would come out about later that same year, or maybe about a year later, something like that. I don't know if that's what they're still planning to do or not. But at one point in time, that's what they told me their plan was. So
75 watt?
75 watts on VHF and UHF.
I just don't know if you need that.
For DMR, you don't, but you got to understand they do analog also. Having a 75 watt 2 meter rate, I mean, you got most of your 2 meter stuff on your dual band DMR radio is analog anyway, right? So
I'm lucky to get over 25 watts, anywhere in the Metroplex here.
Yeah.
Well, we don't really need it with all the proliferation of repeaters around here.
No, we've got 15 repeaters in the Metroplex. We don't need that much. And DMR pokes, punches out there.
That's a piercing signal.
Yeah, it is. So anyway, I don't know if that's their current plan. I'll try to follow up and get some more information about that. Oh, let's see. David Fogel says code plugs are always a challenge, but fun to learn. That's true. Jay says, I like my Kenwood NX 5200K3, no contact list needed.
Well, if you like programming code plugs, it's just like XL.
That's true, yeah.
Which I'm terrible at XL, so it tells you how good I'm at code plugs.
Yeah. So, NX 5200K3, no contact list needed. I'm not familiar with that model. I've got the Kenwood NX 5800 that does both DMR and P25. 5200K3. I have to make a note of that because I don't know what that is.
Big book of notes.
Big book of notes. NX 5200K3.
It's the black book.
I wonder if it only.
Ooh,
I wonder if it pulls.
For it.
Yeah. I wonder if it pulls down information, but it only pulls down the contact over the air. But if it only works on Brandmeister. So, because I think Brandmeister has started to. The way that Fusion does, when you look at your Fusion radio, you can see who's talking. You don't have to have a contact list in there.
That'd be nice.
So I just transmitted it, I guess, in the data, the header payload?
Right. Hold on, I got a cough. Oh, that's good. Okay.
Did you unmute yourself?
I did not, but I turned my head and I turned the camera towards you guys. So anyway,
we could talk about Patreon again for some cough buttons,
Yeah, David Fogel asked, is that a commercial radio out? Most of the Kenwood NX series are commercial radios. Yeah, Craig Murphy, 75 watts would be great up here in Wyoming, where we have to stretch out 50 to 75 miles between DMR repeaters. Yeah, I can see that. That's a VH. Oh, it's a VHF HT. NX, DN, and DMR, and yes, PM only or Kenwood to Kenwood. Yeah. So VHF. I'm not sure I'd want to They probably have a UHF version also. But the mobile version I have will do NXDN natively. But if you enable DMR and P25 both, it squelches the NXDN. It'll do 3 modes, but you can only have 2 active at a time. So there's no NXDN around here at all, and there's a few P25 repeaters. But that's another project I want to do is build a P25 hotspot and do some P25 work.
Now you said P25 repeaters?
Yeah.
I didn't know they had repeaters for that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a UHF P25 repeater in Richardson, and there's one in South Arlington, North Fort Worth, something like that.
Yeah, I think I've heard the one in Fort Worth. The only problem I have it's just another digital mode.
Yeah.
I've only heard that P25 is expensive.
It is. It
really
is. Yeah, it's a lot more expensive than DMR is for sure. I have an E.F. Johnson P25 UHF radio, and the last time I tried it, which has probably been a year ago, I could stand in my backyard in Grapevine and key both the Richardson and the Fort Worth repeater and hold a conversation. And Richardson's not close to Grapevine. No. So P25, you think DMR reaches out there, P25 really reaches out there. And the Denton Club is talking about putting up a P25 UHF repeater also. I think they're going to put it on the Roston Tower, so it's going to be way up there. Wow. So it ought to reach out forever. But
how high is that tower?
The tower itself is 2,000 feet.
Ooh.
The antenna for I think the DMR repeater antenna is like at 1,700 feet, something like that. So, yeah, it's crazy. And they've got a mesh node up there too, and it reaches out quite a ways. So
that'd be one of the super nodes for the area.
Yeah. Jay says he has a talk group on Brandmaster cross-link between NXDN, DMR, P25, YSF, and All-Star, IRLP, and Echolink.
Yes. Yes.
That's a master right there at work.
Yeah.
all these digital standards, and none of them play together.
Yeah.
You win.
Yeah, exactly.
Might need to get out to that location and see how that works. I'm
actually working on a project to do that on the Sea Bridge. The Sea Bridge will do all that. You just got to put it all together. So, I'm actually working on that. So we'll see how that works. I'm not so sure about hooking in I don't think I'm going to do Echolink. I will do All-Star. And I'm not so sure about hooking in All-Star to an all-digital.
What's wrong with Echolink?
It doesn't sound as good as All-Star. All-Star sounds better, and it's easier to, I don't know if it's easier, but I don't know if it's easier, but it's just I don't think it sounds as good. If you're talking to someone on All-Star, it sounds like they're on a local analog repeater. If they're coming in through Echolink, there's usually a lot of noise. Their audio's kind of low. There's a lot of tinkering that goes on with Echolink, and they've got an app. Echolink's got an app where All-Star does not. I think there's an app that'll kind of hack into All-Star and let you use it that way, but there's not a All-Star app like there is an Echolink app.
Well, the Echolink app is very useful. That's what I use on some of our local nets around here to get in.
Yeah, no, I like Echolink just fine, but if we were to put All-Star on those repeaters, I think you get a lot more traffic because it just you can't tell. Like I keyed up a 220 repeater outside of Muskogee yesterday, and a guy was coming in from Oklahoma City, I think he said, on All-Star. It sounded like he was on the local repeater. I couldn't tell he was coming over the internet on a remote connection. So it sounds really good. What's the max channels on a zone on the UV380? N5RIV, hey, good morning. Let's see.
2000?
On a zone?
Oh, on a zone.
On a zone. It's more than 16. I don't know if I've ever maxed it. I think I've put 30 some odd channels in the zones on my UV 380 and 390. But I don't know that I've ever maxed it, so I'm not sure. It's a good question. I can check that and let you know. But it's more than 60. You know, the MD380 was limited to 16. It's more than 16. I know.
Yeah.
So, you can use Zoiper on All-Star as an extension from your Android phone. Yeah, I know you can. But it's I tried that at one point in time with one of the All-Star nodes we have here, and it's not easy to set up. I'll put it that way. I don't think we ever actually got it working. But yeah. Anyway, Zoiper, however you say that is
Zoiper. That's kind of fun to say.
It's not All-Star like EchoLink. You go into the Android store and you search for EchoLink, and EchoLink has an app.
Yes.
You search for All-Star and you find nothing.
Yes.
But Zoiper will do it in a roundabout way. Zoiper is just a VoIP app. You can use it with you can use Zoiper with VoIP over the mesh network too. So, what's the latest firmware version for the 878 that's reliable? Let us find out. I do not know.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Sure. So if we go to look over here, I'm going to go to Bridgecom Systems website, and I'm going to look for Product Shop Amateur Radio handheld radios. Let me switch it over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. And then, yeah, so they've got, so I mentioned this earlier. They've got the 868 UV for $178.99, and the 78 for $218.99 with a 3 Nagoya antenna, GPS programming cable with support. So let's go here, and let's go. I was hoping that there would be a download link from this page here. I don't see one, no. 878 support page. Maybe it's on. Here we go. Okay, so who asked that question? That was Buddy Channel, if I'm saying your last name correctly. Go to Bridgecom Systems, this website here that I'm showing you. The latest firmware is version 1.09. It looks like. This is as of December 3rd, which is 5 days ago. So they've got the older version 1.07 and old drivers there as well. So that is, as far as stable, I don't think that Bridgecom would put it up there if it wasn't stable. So I'm pretty confident in saying that. I've not tried it, but I'd be pretty confident in saying that. So let's see. Ground wire works better. Thanks for the update on Lake Fork. Looking forward to trying it. Yes, Dan, K5VOM's UHF machine is a brute on 441.775 in Greenville and should get you mobile coverage to Fork. N5 REL from Sulphur Springs. Yeah, Dan's actually on my Sea Bridge. I was talking to him yesterday, actually. We're doing some stuff out there with to extend coverage as well. So, really great machine he's got in Greenville. Let's see, from NENDX. NENDX. What is that? I don't know what that is. Robert Ellison. Which digital mode is more active in the USA? DMR. Now, there's still a lot of people that use D-Star. There's still a lot of people that use Fusion. I say still. There's not still a lot of people that use. There are a lot of people that use Fusion. Fusion's growing in popularity. Yaesu just released a couple of new radios, the FT70R, which is actually right there, and that 7250 dual band Fusion mobile radio. So there's a lot of people on Fusion. There's a lot of people on D-Star, because ICOM's still making D-Star radios, and now Kenwood has the D74. But I would guess that there are probably more people on DMR than any mode because there's more radios out there and it's growing so fast, and there's more repeaters and hotspots going up all the time. So I would think that DMR is more popular than anything right now, just because it's so much more easily accessible.
So when we're going to get the digital radio I want?
Which is what?
The one that has all the code plugs in it, or
all the modes?
Yeah, all the modes.
That's a good question.
Because
if you build it, they will buy.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a couple of companies have tried that and nobody's released it yet. So it's tricky, and I don't know enough about programming to answer this question, but they can do it in a hotspot because Pi-Star does it. But those are low wattage, low output wattage, like half a watt, 600 milliwatts, something like that. So apparently, when you get up into the 20, 30, 40, 50 watt range, it becomes an issue to do that, I guess, as a transceiver also, because a hotspot's just a simplex node, basically.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, majority of these digital modes are just how they encode the data within the bandwidth, right?
That's true. That's true for Fusion, DMR, and P25. D-Star's older technology, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, basically.
So at that point, it's just digital codecs.
Right.
That you can just update on the fly.
Correct. Yeah.
Which they need to make that radio.
Yeah, I agree. Wireless Holdings out of Florida has been dangling that string, that carrot in front of us for like 3 years now.
I know we've had several conversations about it, but nothing's happened yet.
Let's see. KD4KZZ says, any recommendations on a D-Star Mole or HT that won't break the bank? No. Because D-Star is expensive. It just is. I'm sorry. I mean, that's not a dig. I'm not saying it's not any good. It's just expensive. ICOM radios are expensive. They're good quality radios. Don't get me wrong. The ID 5100 I got on Black Friday special. I paid $397 for it. That's a steal, but that's still about $75 more than what you can get just a standard dual band radio for. Because you can get the ICOM 2730A or the Kenwood V71A for about $330, and there's an Alinco dual band for about $350. So $400 for an ICOM 5100 is actually a very good price. Those things were $725 the year they released. They released right before Dayton, like 3 or 4 years ago. Were $725, and the vendors couldn't keep them in stock at Dayton. They were flying off the shelves at $725. So,
can I ask you, or do you want to talk about what you were doing yesterday up in Oklahoma?
Sure. Yeah, that's you know what, I meant to do that earlier. Okay, so
you posted a stream out there.
I did.
That had no audio.
I did, and I don't know if that was. I think that the no audio part, I think, was a mistake on my end, but the rest of it was very poor internet connection at our location. So
it looked very interesting.
Right, I was
excited for it when I saw the stream. I was like, "Ooh, what's this?"
Yeah,
and then it was just you going.
Right, right. Yeah, I think that was because something in the Wirecast software kind of fouled up. And there's Carrie. I was wondering if she'd pop in there. Hey, Carrie.
I just sent her a link.
So something in the Wirecast stream, I think, fouled up, and I didn't notice it, and so I think it.
So you just did a recording.
I did a recording,
so
and I should
see it
on Monday.
Monday.
I'll post it Monday. I'll edit it tomorrow, and I'll post it Monday.
Oh man.
So yesterday I was invited, and I got to learn a lot. I was invited up to the USS Batfish submarine war memorial in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Well, and of course, yesterday was December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. It was a special event, but they have a club up there. They have a USS Batfish War Memorial Club call sign of Whiskey 2 SUB sub Sierra Uniform Bravo.
So you were on a sub?
We were on the sub
in the radio room.
No, we were in the galley. The radio room has all the original equipment, and you can't fit more than one person in there at a time. It's tiny. There's room for one guy to sit, and that's it. I got some pictures of it.
Love to see.
So, but they've got a ham radio club there with the permanent call sign of WW2 SUB, and so they did a special event yesterday for Pearl Harbor Day, And they had several students there that were I say newly, a couple years licensed hams, and they got on the air HF to do a special event activation for Pearl Harbor Day from the sub. We were inside of the submarine.
Did you have a special call sign, or you still?
No, we just used their club.
Whiskey
2, Sierra Uniform Bravo. Okay. So they emailed me months ago and asked me to come out and do a live stream, and I said, sure, yeah, that'd be great. Well, we got there, and they have internet, but it's not strong enough internet for YouTube live streaming, which I had this exact setup, which is working fine today, and it's just the internet signal was not good enough.
Ooh, send that to Jason. We could put it out there. Is that the sub?
Yeah, it's the picture from QRZ.
Yeah. I showed that on the video yesterday also.
Okay.
The video I recorded that I haven't posted yet.
We'll see it later then, I guess.
But I got to work. They let me work one of the HF radios. I worked 40 meters on 7.185 for about 30 minutes. I made about 40 contacts.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So it was, and they were making a lot more contacts than that on 20 meters. 20 meters was open real good yesterday.
Do they have the little cards?
They do. QSL cards?
Yes.
Yeah.
QSL cards.
Yeah, they have QSL cards.
QSL cards? Did I get that right? QSL cards?
QSL.
QSL.
Yeah.
QSL?
So, you're a general, Frank. You should know this.
Someone has to play dumb.
So, but yeah, so we couldn't get the live stream to work because of the internet, but, so that was that. I really should have gotten some water or something. Let's see. Yeah, David, we talked about Peanut earlier. There's Carrie. Whatever. She's like, geez, Jason, get the video posted. I got home at 10 o'clock last night, for crying out loud. And I'm here today. I didn't even get up in time for breakfast this morning. Nope. I told my wife, I was like, if I woke up at 6, and I'm like, nah. And I rolled over.
I'm not feeling it.
Not feeling it today.
What happened to, the late risers lunch? Blah. I can't talk. Late risers lunch we used to do around the club. No? Because it was the early bird special and the
late risers.
Late risers, or
I'd be okay with that, but I haven't heard of that one. So
we did it, I think,
3 or 4.
Twice.
Yeah. A lunch right after the club on Saturdays, for those who don't want to wake up early and sleep in.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because is that still at 6:30?
Yes,
okay.
Every Saturday morning.
Yeah, 6:30 on Saturday morning. So
I'm happy in my bed under my warm comforter.
Yeah, me
tell
too.
You what, it was hard to get up this morning.
Yeah.
Cold.
What is it out there right now?
I think I hit that snooze button probably 8 times.
Oh, really? Sheesh. Oh, gosh. What time did you get there?
About 6:30ish.
Okay. So that's not bad for hitting snooze button 8 times.
Well, he doesn't live far from it, right?
No,
just down the
right
street.
down
It's 48 outside right now and drizzly.
Yeah, it's been drizzly.
Ooh.
It's supposed to clear up tomorrow.
And the AC's blowing in here. I had to get my jacket.
So, anyway. Well, 55 watching now. Okay.
All right.
That's pretty cool. Once again, this is Ham Radio 2.0. This is our first live stream. I said this earlier, if you're just joining us. And the live video will be rendered and processed and posted after I end it. It'll be up there for people to watch later.
And I am Frank, KG5AHJ.
I'm Chris, KD5HIY.
And this is going to be the kickoff video for a monthly live stream we're going to do on this channel on the first Saturday of every month for 2019. So send in your questions.
Is that in stone?
Well, except for June and November. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, except for June and November.
I understand June. What's November?
Deer hunting season.
Deer hunting season.
Deer hunting season. The first Saturday is the opening day of deer hunting season.
And that's more important than us.
Yes, this is lots more important than you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No, nothing's more important than me.
No, yeah, in your mind. But let's see. Yes, Tilly Gmail, Greg, Tilly Gmail. That's your YouTube account. VK3ND. Yeah, you're right. The camera should be over there instead of over here.
You're talking about a third one somewhere.
Right. So what I want to do is I might try. I may tinker with that over the next month. So what I want to do is get a camera here behind me that
Yeah.
points it at Frank or whoever's sitting over there, and a camera behind that person pointing at me, and then a third camera that gets the whole table.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to move. We'll have to make sure the computer screen and everything's down here so we can like have the third camera over here and we'll be in front of the equipment. So it's a growing process. So
It's a live process.
it is a live process, yeah.
So Carrie says I'll have to make an appearance on a live
Yeah,
something.
she's welcome to.
She's the voiceover.
Yes,
On
on some of my videos.
the videos.
Yeah, she does the voiceover work for me on some of my videos.
You accept voiceovers from anyone, also, right?
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
I like her voice though. Her voice is soothing. I don't want to put people to sleep, but you know.
Yeah. Now, how do you like the videos done?
What do you mean?
What way?
Oh yeah, horizontally,
Horizontally?
like this. So.
And not like
In fact, but she just does
not the iPhone
voiceovers.
way.
Yeah, she does.
Not the
Yeah,
iPhone
she just
way.
does the voiceover. Yeah. Hey, there's
Northern
somebody from
Germany.
North Germany, DB9WY.
Oh wow.
Thanks for joining us, Manfred.
That's awesome.
Manfred. I think I said. Hopefully, I said your name right, Manfred. Delta Bravo 9 Whiskey Yankee. Thanks for joining us. We've had several people from outside of the USA join us today. By the way, Carrie, I sent you a voiceover that you haven't sent back to me yet. A new one. She's all like, "Hey, let me know if you need anything else." Sure, here, do this, and then like crickets. I'm just teasing her. But anyway, so yeah, there's that. So what are you guys gonna do anything ham radio wise for Christmas?
I'm asking for ham radio stuff for Christmas.
Are you?
Mostly just money to put support towards mounting my base station and getting that going.
What do you need to do that? I know you've got a VHF UHF radio.
I have a VHF UHF mobile radio, which I'm just going to use for my base
Well, of
station
course.
currently.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out how to do the grounding. That's
Okay.
mostly what I'm being held up on because I have a very unique setup here.
That was the one where we heard the radio station in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta pull that one up. But that
Yeah.
was just plugged into the transformer and everything, and
Okay.
running a mobile mag mount antenna on top of a filing
A
cabinet,
filing cabinet. Yeah.
which then somehow picked up and interweaved a Mexican.
Yeah. A
station.
Mexican radio station. Yeah.
Now you got to find that video and post it again
Right, yeah.
because that was very funky.
Yeah. I told Frank, I said, "Hey, turn off your radio in your background." He's like, "I don't have anything on." So I recorded a video of him talking on the air, and I sent it back to him, and he's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "I don't know, man, but you have some grounding issues apparently."
But
So
yeah, I have very unique house. Well, not a unique house. How I'm going to set up the antennas. I'm going to put the antenna on top of my chimney on my 2-story house.
Yep.
Which is on 2 stories. Then you got another 6 feet for the roof. Then another 6 feet for
Yep.
the chimney. And I
Okay.
live in a valley, and that will still put me in treetops. But I'm going to do the grounding rod right at the chimney base.
Okay.
But the house ground is on the other side of the house.
That's okay.
Yeah,
you don't
want them.
you don't want to go into the
don't
house
want
ground anyway.
Yeah, I
Just do a grounding rod driven into the ground right there, and run yourself a mesh steel mesh wire up there to it.
okay.
That's all you need to do,
And
really.
how about having 2 grounds now, since the transformer will be plugged into the house ground?
You don't have two.
And the radios will be plugged
You don't
into
have
the
2 grounds on the radio, so you only have 1 ground. In fact, really, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. Really, if you just ground your antenna, the rest of it's probably fine. Now, it's a good idea to ground your station also, but that's a different task. You're talking about doing a ground rod outside.
Yes.
Just run a ground mesh wire to your antenna mount so that your antenna is grounded, because that's the thing that's going to get struck by lightning if anything does,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So, so later on, you can worry about mounting or doing a ground bar inside that also runs out.
Now, you say mesh, you mean the flat braid?
The flat
braid,
braided, the
yeah.
flat braided steel wire. Yeah,
See, I do know stuff.
there you go.
Another thing you could do is get one of those. The 3-wire to 2-wire outlet converter thing. Where you
Yes.
can cut the ground wire. I wouldn't cut it off, but you can cut the ground pin off of your plug-in, and that'll keep it isolated. And then
Yeah.
just run a cable out to the grounding rod also.
But once that ground's settled, I'm also want to put up a mesh node,
Yeah.
probably an Arduino node, which I will be able to talk to only myself in my valley.
You say valley. Now, how high? How many feet above sea level is your neighborhood?
I don't know. Let's see
You
if I
haven't
can
looked?
find that. No.
Okay. Because I wonder if you and I could talk to each other on Mesh. Because
I'm
you're not that
hoping.
not that far from me.
No, about 2
and
3
my
miles.
my neighborhood is 590 feet above sea level,
Uh-huh.
but downtown Grapevine's about 650.
Now, where would I find the sea level?
Just Google it. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I looked. I think there's an app. I have an app on my phone, or I used to, that would tell you your GPS. Like, hey, here's where you are, and here's how many feet above sea level you are right now. So you'd have to go home to look at that.
Mm-hmm.
But you could probably just Google, elevation map or something like that, and bring it up that way.
Yeah, I'm totally drawing a blank.
WX0JLM, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I hope to catch you on DMR too, sir.
Yeah, but once that's all going and I find the money for it, I really do want a HF station up there. I'm thinking an inverted V.
Yes.
Back fence.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, from N3 NDX, sorry for, that's what you were talking about earlier. Okay, thanks, Roberto. N3 NDX, sorry for the mix-up message. Thank you for watching this morning. So, I think I said everything I was going to say, but I was just going to kind of let it roll after that. So, you guys, you guys put on your calendar 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is math. I got to do math. 4 p.m. UTC. Saturdays, first Saturday of every month. Put it on your calendar, and I'll pre-post the event on YouTube also, and then send the link out. Oh, another thing I was going to say, something I forgot to mention earlier, is if you go here, go sign up on my email list so that you can, I've got this email list that I honestly don't use it enough. And I've got about 21 or 2,200 subscribers on it right now. So if you go to hamradio2.com or livefromthehamshack.tv, which is the same website, this is my main website right here, and you just scroll down to this red box that says sign up for my email list. I'm going to try to be better about sending out updates when new videos are posted before Hamfest and before the live feed every month. So I'll send probably an email like 48 hours before the live feed saying, here's the link to the live feed. Be sure and watch us on Saturday morning, etc., like that, so I can try to be more connected that way with it. But yeah, sign up on the email list, and also go to Steve WB8GRS says Google Earth will give you a good idea of your elevation.
I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. Good morning, Royce, KD4EXY. Thank you for joining us this morning. And back up to 51. We dropped down to 48 watching, and now we're back up to 52 watching. So it seems to fluctuate. So.
Now, did you check out Kari's last comment there in the chat?
Who? Carrie?
Carrie?
Did you call her Kari?
Carrie.
Oh, okay.
I said Carrie.
So today is my now 9-year-old son's birthday.
Ah.
So we'll be leaving here, we're going to do something, then we're going to go celebrate his birthday. So happy birthday, Isaac.
Happy birthday, Isaac.
Coolest dad ever,
Isaac
says.
doesn't have his license yet, right?
No, but he talks about it a lot. So.
Okay. Now your oldest Jordan has his license.
Yes.
Okay. All right, good. So yeah, happy birthday for Isaac's birthday. Buy him a Gordon West technician class book. So, and send him the link to the YouTube video that Mike and his dad did about the technician class here at the club. So, Jarrett McAllister says, "What's your take on the TYT 7800?" I like that radio. When it's working, it works great. I think the failure rate on them is a little bit higher than what I would like to see. Because I've heard some people use them, and they'll use them for a year or two, and then they'll fail in some regard. So I don't think there is I could be wrong on that. It just seems like I've heard about a lot of people talking about how they use that radio and it failed for some reason. But it's a decent radio. It's just not. If you've got the money, I'd go get a V71A. Really, it's going to be a better quality radio for you. But yeah, I've still got my TH7800, and I haven't hooked it up in a long time. But the last time I used it, it worked fine. So Lawrence, I'm not attempting your last name, Lawrence. Put your call sign in there. Hey man, I want to set up my VHF UHF base station. Most activities on UHF in my area, so I want to make sure I have that locked down, but VHF would be nice too. What antenna style should I go with? I would suggest a Comet. My favorite are the Comet antennas. A GP9, Comet GP9 is about 17 feet tall, just the antenna itself.
I have a GP6.
So yeah, so if you're really
Sitting for
crazy,
5
go get a
years.
GP9, but they have a GP5, I think, also.
I think they've got a 3, which is 3 feet. Then
Yeah.
6 feet.
Well, but the
the
GP9
9
is
is
17 feet,
17.
so that doesn't add up. But anyway, the Comet GP antenna, you can get like a 5 or 6 foot Comet GP series antenna. GP, you said 5 or 6?
6.
GP6?
I have a 6 at the house.
Okay.
And it's been up for 4 years, and it's
Yeah.
still chugging along.
The other good one is if you ever think you're going to do 220, what is it, the CX333? I think it's this Comet CX333.
I don't know.
Is a tri-band antenna, and I know a couple guys that use that as their home base stations, and they really rave about that as well. Those are.
And I don't know. I haven't had any experience with this, but MFJ's got.
But I've always used Comets, and I've been real happy with them. So that's my personal opinion. Yeah, GP3, 6, and 9 all models. It says. So, show your URL there, Chris. But yeah, those are my favorite ones. So, y'all's camera is out of focus. I don't know if it's got smudge on it. Hold on a second. Let me.
I'm trying to clean it right now.
No, you're not. You're just messing with it. Let's see. It's a live feed.
That's
It
what
is a live feed.
That's why I enjoy a lot of your
So-
videos, man. You show the screw ups,
Now,
especially
one-
when programming those radios and doing those unboxing.
Right.
Is
Whoa.
whoa.
That was me wiping off the camera.
Yeah. Lag
There's a
there.
bit of a lag here, so we're seeing stuff like 3 or 4 seconds behind when it actually happens, but that's okay. Yeah, WB8GRS CX333 is a very good antenna. Even on 220, it works well. There's a couple of guys out here. Kent, WA5YXS, he uses the CX333, and it's a really great antenna too. I'll probably end up with one of those at my house before too long, but right now I've got the Ed Fong tri-band antenna, and it gets really good reviews also.
Now, with any fiberglass, what I've learned, any fiberglass antenna, if you can put a layer of paint on there, just spray paint, make sure it's
Clear
it's
coat?
not just anything that'll keep it from doing that, where it like dusting and
Yeah.
breaking down. Because mine's been up in the sun, Texas sun, where it gets 180 degrees out here, and if I go and touch it, I'll get like the dusting on my hands.
It's not splintering yet, but it's
No.
dusting?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I've been told by one of our guys here, get Krylon. It's like a plastic-based paint, so it won't affect any of the
Radiation.
radiation patterns or anything. But you just put a coating on that, and that'll keep you good. We've spray painted the antennas on the roof up here, and they're holding up good and strong.
Good. Okay.
Talking about antennas on the roof. How's the HF1?
It's on the roof.
It's on the roof.
It's on the
On
roof.
On the roof still.
It's,
It is a work in progress.
yeah. That's
we're kind of doing a little refresh here. We've done a lot with the repeaters, and we're doing Arden, and now we're trying to move into HF, getting that all.
I'm looking forward to getting that HF repeater or radio back up and running over there, because it'll be a great tool to learn on until I get
Yes.
my HF.
Yes. In fact, I was trying to look up Radio Wave's website because he was at the. No, I don't think that's him. I'm not sure what his website is. Anyway, he was at the event yesterday also. We were talking about antennas. we were talking about that new quad he's got, and his DX8, what he calls his DX80 antenna, which is an off-center fed dipole, and he's got like 5 or 6 different configurations you can do with it, including a delta loop and a rhombus antenna, which I'd heard the term rhombus antenna, but I'd never really researched it. I was like, okay, explain to me what a rhombus antenna was, and he explained it. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I got to do that. So I told him about our winter field day idea, Frank. So we'll. But the antenna on the roof here is 40-meter loop, right?
Oh, I could have told you any other time.
Yeah.
I'm not real sure.
I think it's a 40-meter loop.
I think it is a loop.
Yeah.
But it's been up there for about 6 years. Just needs some TLC. The mast that were holding it up off the ground got brittle and they broke, and that was when it was the middle of summer and we didn't want to bake, so we said we'll wait till fall.
And now it's winter.
Fall now it was rain, and now it's winter. And we got up there the other day and checked it out, and I think we've got a good handle on what it's going to take to get it fixed.
Okay.
So.
And good. Okay. Awesome. So, yeah, the camera setup. Somebody, Roberto mentioned the camera setup. We're working on. It's a work in progress. Again, this is a kickoff video. Want to see what does work and what doesn't work. So we'll probably do it differently next time. I'm not paid yet. Well, neither am I. So, yeah. So. It's better. It's better across. There's a couple of guys who do, not ham radio guys. There's a couple of YouTuber guys I keep up with that do live streams on YouTube.
Yep.
And they sit across the table from one another. And again, they have that setup where you've got a camera on each of them and a third camera.
I think we need a camera behind us.
Yeah. I just got to figure out if I can get a third camera to work with the software. The software will take it, but I keep getting Windows errors saying you've used up all your USB bandwidth, and I'm like. Really?
Now, I wonder if on that laptop it's because it's a single USB bus.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. It's a dual USB bus.
It looks like.
Right. This is a Precision. It's a Precision M6700. It's a dual USB bus. It's got a USB 2 bus with 2 ports over here, and it's got a USB 3 bus with 2 ports over here. I've not tried the third camera. I don't have a third camera. Okay. But when I was first setting all this up, I kept getting that error. Now, I got around it, obviously, because it's working.
You have a camcorder. Can you get live video off of that?
Yeah, but I would need I'd need a HDMI to USB capture card, which they're about $100. Yeah. You can get them on Amazon. They're about $100, and so I don't have one right now.
Okay.
But my preference would be yes. Now these little Logitech cameras we're using today.
Yep.
They're inexpensive. They're about $80, and they looked pretty good.
1080p.
So yeah, they're 1080p. So y'all's looks out of focus for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah,
actually, it doesn't look that way on the screen, but it looks that way on YouTube. So I don't know why it's looking like that. So I might have to do something with that.
I think I look better in soft focus. Carrie Fisher focus?
Carrie Fisher focus. But okay. So we'll figure. I mean, it's again, it's a work in progress. So we'll figure something out. But okay. That's good. Okay, so we've got 50 watching now. So, I think we should probably wrap this up. I don't want to get stale or anything, but
Frank's hair.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's Frank's hair. Yeah, that's probably what it is. That's good.
Braid that stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Put some beads on this. That way you can go.
Yeah, right.
Only for Halloween, you do the pirate look with the beads.
Yeah.
Or the Jedi.
The Jedi thing. That'd be cool. So, Mortal Kombat.
No, not that glitter beard kit that I saw in the mall the other day. No.
That's why I don't go to malls anymore. But, all right, guys. Thank you for tuning in today. Once again, this is Jason. I'm KC5HWB.
I am Frank, KG5AHJ.
And Chris, KD5HOI.
And this has been the kickoff session for Ham Radio 2.0 live from the EOC. And we're going to do this every month for the first Saturday of every month for the year of 2019. Keep updated on schedule.
Sorry.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. See, now they're getting onto that. So we're watching the chat on YouTube right now. So it's pretty fun. So everybody's commenting on Frank's hair, which is a good topic, I guess. Yeah. So anyway,
I love it.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down. I think we're done.
Don't
Thanks.
forget to do the subscribing down here.
Oh, okay.
Hit the
So
bell,
well,
or
I did that at the beginning.
the beginning, but not at the end too.
I can do it at the end. Go to if you're watching the live stream, just right down there. Go down there, click on subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. If you hit the bell notification icon, YouTube should tell you every time I post a new video. You know what? I'm going to turn your freaking camera off.
Oh.
So, yeah, there. No more Frank. So, so be sure and subscribe. You can also
mic
go.
is still live.
You can also go to the website subscribe.hamradio2.com, and it should just prompt you to say yes or no subscribe. So thank you for watching. Send in put your comments below. Send in your emails with questions for next time. I'll write them all down, and we'll discuss them on the show next time. 73 guys. Hope to hear you on the air. DMR HF.
Adios, y'all.
Thanks to both of you for joining, too.